Behave donated $69. Men who don't want to get married but complain about the lack of trad women is silly. We agree on a lot, but I think it's better when you have more pushback on the show. Table of pick-me's today equals thumbs down.
I do agree with that, honestly.
That everybody here is a pick-me?
No.
Are you a pick-me?
Funny because I literally
No,
just
no,
said
no,
that.
no. I'm talking about the first statement.
Oh, the
silly
first
goose.
statement?
Yeah.
Don't get married, boys. Don't fucking do it. Don't get married.
And how are you going to ask for a traditional woman, Brian?
Because
the traditional woman
I'm a
that you want is going to want to get married.
independent boss man, and I can. Women do that shit all the time.
I get that, but
I'm just
but we're
serving up
saying
a dish
that
of equality.
Yeah, but we've said that's
equality. I'm not going to marry you, but you better do my laundry.
Oh gosh. You're such a troll sometimes.
It's true though. What?
Nothing.
I'm just saying, you know.
I agree.
I just like channeled Bill Burr there.
That was a good one, actually.
I understand your argument. Obviously, it's incredibly difficult with the lack of traditional women out there, but you can't expect a traditional woman and then not adhere to the values that she's going to want as
Anonymous
well.
donated $69. Hello, Brian and panel. To the quadriplegic TTS. Proud of you, sir. I personally give you a standing ovation. Keep that head up and keep on rolling.
Oh my god.
Bro.
Wow.
Brutal.
No, that was funny.
That was funny.
That
I liked
funny.
it. That was good.
Even Quadman would be laughing at that.
Yeah. I don't think they want to be like coddled. You know, they want to be treated equally. Yeah, you can joke about me, right?
I would assume so if they have a good sense of humor.
About it.
It's
You
important.
know, maybe, I don't know.
It's important to be able to laugh at yourself a bit.
Yeah.
It's very important in the Australian culture. We take
I think it's
piss out of
important
ourselves.
in any culture. Or at least it should be.
But about the marriage thing, not in favor of. I'm not gonna. I'm not.
I mean, it's very similar to how these feminist, leftist women want traditional, conservative men. It's a very similar trade-off.
I actually think it is a stronger position, though. For example, like a woman who's a feminist who wants a guy to pay for a first date. I do think that a man being hesitant to marriage, even if he's traditional or inclined to be traditional, or he desires a traditional partner, I think it's really valid because the state has sort of destroyed marriage,
I don't
and
disagree.
there's laws on the books when it comes to marriage that, like, there's actually tangible reasons for why a man could object, valid reasons for a man not wanting to get married under the current social climate and under the current legal climate.
I don't object to that whatsoever.
So I think it like, men have a valid reason.
No, I understand the hesitancy, and it's completely valid. But in the same breath, you can't expect this very moral traditional woman to not have her own desires, traditional desires of marriage and family.
For shizzle.
Can I just say, with this argument, I always find it a little bit useless, and I enjoy watching you guys talk about it, but the argument of whether men should get married or not, obviously if we want a healthy society, men should get married. But this is a spiritual problem. This is not a political problem. This is a problem that people don't believe in God anymore. As atheism has gotten more prominent in our societies, everything just tends to crumble. So when people don't believe in God and that they're not a part of a church and they don't adhere to that sort of worldview and lifestyle, this seeps in. So unfortunately, as much as it would be, we can argue back and forth to secular people as to whether they should get married or not, and what are the perks and what are the risks, because there are a lot of risks involved. There are also good perks as well. This is a spiritual problem.
Absolutely. I completely concur.
Yeah, I mean, it's very dangerous these days for men to get married in a secular sense. And as much as I'm a proponent of the nuclear family, and it's my own goal one day, I completely understand why a man wouldn't want to get married.
Yeah, I mean, I completely agree.
In a secular sense, I mean, you heard what Liam just said then. Men are getting absolutely shafted on the daily.
I agree. I would like to know what advice you would give to men to kind of seek out the right type of woman so that they don't get caught in that situation later on if they do.
Well, this is a really tough one. No, it's a good one. But this is a really tough one because if you don't have a religious like worldview and belief, then like if you're in a secular relationship, how do you define your values? You know?
Yeah.
I don't know.
So once again, I would say probably seek out some sort of a. Okay, here's what I'd say to guys: go and do some research into the apologist William Lane Craig and look at his work into the case for Jesus Christ. There's also a movie called The Case for Christ, and there's a book called The Case for Christ as well, and it lays out all of the details about why Jesus was a historical figure and how he died on the cross and all of the evidence that he was resurrected, and see if that changes your mind as to whether Christianity is just a myth and a fairy tale. Because you can't just click your fingers and start believing. You can't just click your fingers and just become a Christian. You have to actually do the intellectual heavy lifting.
Yeah.
And a lot of people want a lightning bolt and they're, oh, that's my spiritual moment. But unfortunately for most people, it's about getting up every single day and fending off all of the ills of the world and all of the degeneracy of the world, all of the cultural and political ills and all of the squalid behavior that we engage in, and to try and actually create your own foundation and to try and but it's not easy. It's something that we have to do every single day.
Yeah, I completely agree. And I think that marriage falls apart a lot of the times, I mean, like you were saying, due to the lack of religious beliefs. And I mean, we are in such a secular world right now. But there's nothing, if you don't have God as the foundation of your relationship, what are you being held accountable to? Like there's nothing. Yeah, like you said, there's no moral backbone. Like we can all say, I mean, there are sets of morals that we on a broad scale, even the secular world, can agree that are wrong, but obviously our morals have to come from somewhere. And when you don't, and when you have secular beliefs, there's no backbone to that. There's no origin to that. And it's very hard to continue to define the smaller the ills go.
100%.